Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where we are currently working on pushing our way up through Central America, and honestly I don't think that this will be all that complicated, although I do want to check. Yeah, we could definitely use some more supplies over here, but looking at the state lines here, that's going to be difficult to do for sure. I want to just double check that we have all of our infrastructure queued up, and indeed we do. Hey, we got a push in over here. Fantastic. That's what we like to see. This right here is a victory point, and I believe we're pushing in here. Not from here anyway. Maybe we're not pushing into Mexico City, but that is a victory point there. So that is a good thing. Are these guys all retreating? Yeah, they are. Okay, we are definitely not actually going there, even though they're all leaving that area. Although these guys made their way back in, so I guess that's fine. For now, of course, we're mostly just interested in pushing our way up, getting these guys out of the fight. That is our current primary goal. So that way we can be full on against Chickasaw. And start getting some really wide fronts. Like, sufficiently wide that we might want to think about bringing up another army group for it. That's definitely a thing to think about. However, I am looking at this and thinking about the forward logistics here. Like, this is really not great logistically. Over here, we're doing fine logistically, though. And as we push up into these supply areas, or rather this supply area, I think overall we'll probably be okay. This is all one state here. Noted. We have pushed in over here, so that's wonderful. Very, very happy to see that, of course. We haven't... Oh, we did get Mexico City there. That does, of course, mean that we can queue up additional infrastructure. And so we shall. We're definitely making some progress now. No more choke points for us. Well, I mean, there will still be supply choke points, but no choke points like this, or... yeah, like this. That was quite a choke point to push through. Ended up costing us a few armies, too. But overall, it is all good. We should be seeing Quiche... Actually, they're going to capitulate extremely soon. Like, basically right now. As soon as Puerto Vallarta falls, we expect Quiche to capitulate. And then... the heat is on Tarasco. Actually... Chickasaw America managed to get a couple units in there, but it didn't matter. They weren't there long enough. Fantastic. I'm a little surprised that Quiche didn't capitulate there. Did they already capitulate? Maybe they did. Regardless, this is quite the bulge, and I'm not sure that I like that. However, we do have additional infrastructure that we should be able to queue up. That is absolutely the case. And we'll get some divisions starting to move over this way, or... I guess a division. Excellent. Okay, so this is still unassigned divisions, or rather, this is another unassigned division. There we go. We'll get that in there. We have another? So we do. Any more? No. No, we do not. Great. So overall, I'm reasonably happy with our progress over here. In fact, this is going extremely well. These mountains are a bit complicated for us to move through, but overall, not too bad. Tarascan has capitulated. Perfect. Very soon, we're going to be replacing this push order. And we're probably... I've been thinking about what the next one is going to be. Perhaps exactly the border with, like, the real-world US border. That might be our next push. I'm interested to see how the AI handles the Baja over here. That will be very, very interesting to see. Like, if I just put the order to be here, what does it do to fill this in? I don't know. We'll find out. We're almost up. Ooh, is that a nuke? Did they nuke us? They did! How rude. We're still fine, though. This actually doesn't matter. I mean, it probably did a lot of damage, right, to the infrastructure over here. But even so... Oh, they nuked us again! Are they just going to keep nuking us in the same place? Probably. This does, of course, mean that we should probably check to get ourselves some air superiority up here. We do actually have a naval base here, but it's really bad, probably because it just got nuked twice. We're going to go ahead and put in some jet fighters here. If we can find them. I know they're in here somewhere. We have so many variants that we don't even use, most of them. Okay. I'm going to have this be a full 1,000 wing. And we're going to set it to... Let's see, do we want to do interception or air superiority? Probably air superiority up over this way. Excellent. We'll see if they keep throwing nukes at us over here. But honestly, that doesn't seem to do that much damage. Does it hurt our war support? Not particularly. Excellent. Yeah, I think that those nukes are not really a concern. Like, congrats. You threw 2 nukes at us. I don't care. We have 52 of our own, but I don't really have any interest in using them. For one thing, we'd have to set up strategic bombers, and that just sounds like work. Why would I want to do that when we can just push in and take the territory relatively undamaged? Okay. I'm going to go ahead and, at this point, delete this order. And we're going to put in our new offensive line, and that is going to be exactly here. Excellent. In we go. Let's go ahead and execute that, as soon as this autosave is done anyway. The question is, do they have any more nukes to throw at us? If they do, I kind of don't particularly care. Like, they didn't even destroy a single one of our regiments. Sure, it might drain some of our manpower, but what do we care about that? I think it's completely fine. Like, this doesn't even slow us down at all. No concerns whatsoever. And having some naval, or rather some air superiority up here probably won't hurt. I understand why they're nuking us, though. Don't get me wrong, I completely understand that, trying to get us to stop our inexorable advance. But it's not going to work. We don't care about petty things like nukes. We will push them back. Honestly, we're in such a good position right now. Really, it doesn't matter. They can nuke all they want. But I don't even think they have that many nukes. That may have been the only 2 that they had. Okay, paratroopers, sure. We'll put them in our paratroop army. They're kind of in reserve. And of course, we are continuing to push up here. So that is wonderful. Now, once we get up to this line, this is starting to get pretty wide, and we may want to start bringing in another army group. Now, I am wondering, can we pull anything off of the Asian theaters? I don't think we can, but we could probably pull units out of the African defense. Not like they're any good units. Okay, these guys are decent units. Yeah. We'll move them over to the South American theater, and we'll pop them into this army. Excellent. Now, we are definitely seeing some slowdown here, and I expect that that's due to logistics. Actually, the logistics in this region are not that bad. But we should definitely be working on constructing additional infrastructure. And it's mostly not bad because we're pretty spread out, right? But it will probably get bad later on. Wow, they have a lot of little armies over here. I guess they're finally properly full-on responding to this. And that's probably why we're starting to see this. So I'm going to bring these lads up, and for now, all we're going to do is stick them on this front line, if I can get the front line to properly go here. Oh, there we go. There we go. So we're just going to move them on in, and we'll get them to reinforce our holding, although we're not going to push with them just yet. We're still making some pushes here, but I'm getting a little bit concerned about their numbers. There's no doubt about that, which is why we are, of course, bringing in additional reinforcements, and they'll get up here eventually. These guys are also, in theory, able to come up to the line, but Free India doesn't seem too interested in doing that, which, fair enough. Thing about this is a lot of little regiments. And we don't seem to actually care that much about them. Our regiments are, I believe, much bigger and much more advanced. So I think overall we're fine. Now I'm interested in seeing how the manpower of Chickasaw is doing. It is plummeting right now. I mean, they're losing territory as well as losing fights. So that makes some level of sense, right? But even so, it's going down very quickly. Much, much more quickly than ours is. This is mostly, at this point, Chickasaw and Ojibwa that we're fighting. And that's to be expected, of course. But regardless, with additional troops up here, we should be in a much better situation. And yeah, these guys are on their way, but they're a ways off yet. And we'll just assign this division into the paratroop army. Wonderful. We can probably combine all of these together at this point. Yeah, go ahead and reassign them. That's 21. And then we'll reassign that into this army group here. Okay, I'm noticing that these guys are leading more divisions than they can. And I'm wondering why that is happening right now. Did these guys get filtered into... Oh, I bet they did, didn't they? Okay, I guess we can make ourselves a new army. And do something along the lines of... No, they didn't. Okay, I'm not sure where these actually came from. No, these are the paratroopers. Yeah, I did mess that up. Okay, my bad entirely. So we will do something like this, and we'll assign this into this army. Excellent. And this is an unassigned infantry division. In it goes. Fantastic. So I don't think this is actually all that threatening. It just looks like a lot, but I think it's a lot less than it looks like. Now, we did lose a division here, and I'm going to pull an assault division over and make sure to get them to the front lines. Did I just do the whole thing? I think I accidentally did the whole thing. Okay, I want to find members of this division who are not here. That would be a nice thing to have. I have no idea where they would... Oh, we don't have all of these selected. We should probably select all. That would help when I'm trying to do this. Okay, these guys are all pretty much at the front. And I'm just looking for the 5 units that aren't. And you know, I have no idea where they are. For now, I guess we will simply say, I don't know. And we will just move these 5 units. It's certainly not optimal. I need to not make mistakes like that. Regardless, I don't think it's super relevant. We might get pushed back a little over here. But do we actually care is the question. The answer to that is probably not. We can do this. Okay, these guys got pocketed, and that we actually do care about. That we care about quite a lot. That's going to lose us some divisions. Unless we can reattach, just like that. Perfect. I'm going to have this guy... Actually, we're still stronger, so I think we're still okay aggressively attacking. I didn't necessarily want them to push up this far, though. Maybe I'll switch us over to a balanced attack at this point. Just because we're waiting on reinforcements, and I don't want them to push up quite this far necessarily. I do, however, want to continue working on infrastructure in places we've conquered, although we don't have any additional infrastructure to build just now. I'm very happy to see that these guys did not, in fact, remain pocketed. That would have made me very sad indeed. And we're just continuing to rearray over here, which is ideal. Excellent. They just decided to do an offensive over here, but we're holding. How are we doing logistically? We're doing okay, I would say. Not fantastically logistically, but we're doing okay. I would still love to build additional infrastructure. We do have infrastructure in progress, of course. Yeah, they're trying to launch offensives over here. I kind of want these guys to have their offensive line be, like, over here. And take that. That's kind of mega awkward, but... yeah, they can actually aggressively attack. Anytime they're in position. That is certainly mega awkward, though. There's no doubt about that whatsoever. But I'm overall reasonably content with this front line. I'd like to get rid of this bulge, for sure. And it looks like we are working on that, and we're holding the line up here nicely. They're attempting to push back this bulge, but I don't think that that's too much of a concern. But if we can link this up over here, that's going to be a big, big deal, especially if we can grab this victory point. And we have borders right now with Chickasaw W14, so that is a potential option as well. We can go after them. I'm definitely interested in doing that. But we are now in the thick of the fighting for North America, so that is wonderful. We're just slowly making some progress here. And attempting to get these guys in position to grab this territory. In theory. We'll see how effective that actually is. That said, we're doing quite well here. How's Chickasaw doing, anyway? Their manpower has dropped by almost 25%. That is wonderful to see. That is absolutely wonderful. And yeah, I think right now attacking unbalanced with our primary force is, in fact, the way to go. Now, we could try to have, like, just push north to south and get a super, like, continent-wide front going. I don't think that's necessarily in our best interest, though. I think we're better off trying to partition these guys off. Maybe... is Navajo in this war? They're not. They're guaranteed by Ojibwa. We don't necessarily care about that. Okay, we're making progress in this bulge. I believe that we can actually get ourselves some infrastructure constructing, and indeed we can. Wonderful. We will absolutely continue that. And I don't know, maybe this was them bringing up reserves or something? I suppose that's a possibility. No, they're not ready. No one is ready for a provisional government. We're enough government for anyone. Nope. They're still not ready. Excellent. We are making some levels of progress here. These guys are still on their way over. Like, the infrastructure levels over here are so awkwardly low that we can't really move around very quickly. But we'll get there when we get there. They're trying to launch these offensives all across this front. And it's not exactly working out for them. In fact, I'm completely content with them doing this. If we take a look at Ojibwa, we know that they had a large amount of manpower. They still do, but their manpower has dropped pretty dramatically already. And these guys, yeah, their manpower is continuing to drop in Chickasaw. These are, of course, our two primary remaining enemies. I'm interested to see if this includes... Oh, that's interesting. Going for a big old bulge in the mountains. I actually don't mind that. Having that mountainous territory is not necessarily the worst thing. I mean, if they want to exhaust themselves by attacking into us like this, I'm reasonably okay with it. Oh, hello. We can build infrastructure in Texas. And so we shall. Did we get a... Oh, we did get a victory point there. Fascinating. I didn't realize that we had gotten that victory point, but okay. We'll take that. Other things that we will take, of course, include the rest of North America, but it'll be a little bit before we're ready to grab all that. Is Newfoundland in this war? Yes, they are. Is Oregon in this war? Yes. Well, they're in a war. I'm assuming they're in this war. Yeah. Pueblo is up here as well. Alaska and Blackfoot. They should both probably be in this war. Alaska was previously our vassal, but not currently. And that's okay. We are certainly making progress here. There's no doubt about that. These guys are still very slowly filtering over to the front. Excellent. And I really don't think that Chickasaw and Ojibwa can keep this up. The question is, how do we keep our lines a little bit more narrow than, you know, this? We can grab to here, and then we can just, like, expand here and there, grab states. That's things we can do. And they'll continue trying to attack us. And that's fine. They can do that. I actually don't mind if they do that. Let's check in and see if we can get any additional infrastructure built. And indeed we can. So we will get started on that. We've definitely got a lot of things that we're working on. But we've also got a lot of things that we are finishing up. We have an unassigned division over here, and we'll just pile them in over here. Excellent. Free India is kind of taking up garrison duty, and I like that. These guys are paratroopers. Right. Okay, these can hop into this army. Wonderful. We're definitely passing our initial push point, making good gains into Texas. And that is, of course, absolutely wonderful. Having these relatively wide fronts is useful for us logistically. We do still want to continue to get some logistics. But even so, fighting in 3 different states, so much better than fighting in 1. So much better. Yeah, they're exhausting themselves on us. I really feel like they are. Chickasaw is now down to 200k. Half of their manpower since they raised this push, since they started attacking us here, half of their manpower has been depleted. Ojibwa, they were at 11 million last time we checked. Now they're at 10 million. They cannot keep this up. This is over, but they don't know it yet. We've barely lost any manpower. They can't do this. They can't keep this up. Especially once we start taking Chickasaw W14 and Chickasaw America, and just some of these various other locations. But we are now through Central America, absolutely, and well and truly into North America. So that is fantastic. It is, however, time to put a cut in here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we are going to keep chipping through their manpower pools. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time when we continue to paint North America blue.